today we're diving into the inspiring journey of one incredible small business in the cleaning industry in Europe, actually. And joining us today is a really good friend of ours, Krystle Idago, and she is the proud owner of BFree, which is known for cleaning residences in Brussels. Today we'll learn how she got started, how they got started, the lessons they've learned along the way, and what sets BFree apart from other cleaning businesses in their area. Whether you're a fellow entrepreneur or just someone looking for inspiration, this conversation is for you. Let's get started. Hi, Krystle. Welcome to the show. How are you today?
Hi, Shanna. I'm doing very, very well. Mabuti, as we say. So, yes, I'm doing very, very well. And I'm so excited for this interview.
I know a little bit about your story, and I would love for you to share it with our viewers. What's inspired you to start BFree, and what's the story behind its creation?
Oh, well, the story is very interesting, actually. I was fired before we started BFree, and BFree means plan B to be free. So that's why it's BFree. And BFree is also plan B for you to be able to do whatever you want to do instead of the boring cleaning stuff in your homes. So in 2007, we got married. And while waiting for our kids to have babies, actually, we adopted an English bulldog. And that English bulldog belonged to an entrepreneur and an accountant. So the entrepreneur is the sister and the accountant is the one who owned the bulldog. And this accountant told us, why don't you start a cleaning business? Because I know that Filipinos are really reliable and honest and trustworthy cleaners, and you have a very good reputation cleaning. And my husband said, yeah, actually, we are looking into being financially free, because at that time we were reading books. We were reading Robert Kiyosaki's book at that time, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. That was our first book that we read into financial literacy. And we were listening to different mentors also. And that made us think about, okay, what do we do? How do we do that? But we didn't know anyone except this guy. And so we said, well, if you need help, my sister and I own a cleaning service and you can ask for help. And then he said, okay, well, we'll do that. But of course, we were employees, so we were very afraid of launching and getting out of our comfort zone. And at that time, we were really good where we were, because my husband was a graphic designer and I was in a 5-star hotel as a receptionist. So I really loved my job. But then we transitioned. We wanted to build our family. So my husband said, okay, but then our times, our schedule didn't meet, so I had to move into being a receptionist to an employee in a multinational company, actually an American multinational company. So it was really still good because I was in a finance department. It was in my domain. I studied accountancy. So I was like, okay, I'm leveling up from 5-star hotel receptionist to a finance administrator. But then in 2008, 2009, there was the financial crisis.
Yep.
And when they announced that they're firing employees, we just discovered that I was pregnant with our eldest. And we were like, what's going to happen to us? So I was afraid. So I spoke with my manager at that time and I asked her, how's our department going? And she says, oh no, it's okay. We're still saved, but they're laying off around 50 people at that time. They're really dividing because it was expensive, of course, here in Belgium. So, and then at the end of the year, they let go all 300 employees.
That's a lot.
That's a lot. And so this company was an American company, American multinational company. They moved to Hungary. So it's in Europe, which is less expensive.
Right.
So, and then at the time, actually, I became pregnant immediately with our second child. So I was like, oh, what's going to happen to us? But then we were looking in the silver lining, because being laid off, meaning I would be able to stay at home with my two young kids, and that also means that I would receive indemnities from the company. Plus, here in Belgium, we receive this budget or salary, even if you're not working. So we have this budget for us where I can stay at home, take care of my small kids, because at that time we also heard what's that called? A creche. Well, it's a nursery school where one kid was being molested or something like that. So we were like, no, what's happening? No, we're really definitely not going to put our kids to this to out there yet. So I stayed at home, but then my husband said, okay, but then the introduction of starting a cleaning business from this accountant still lingers in his mind, and he says, maybe we can start our cleaning business. But then we said, yeah, but we have two small kids and we don't know how to start. But then it's there. So we met with John's aunt, who was in cleaning service. She was and she was complaining of her backache and stuff like that. And my husband said, I want to really help this lady. And my aunt, his aunt was really motivated to do something else. And she wants to help us also in our projects. And so she says, yeah, okay, I know cleaning, I can help you. And she's also very entrepreneurial, so she knows a lot of people. She would cut hair, she would do rebond of the hair color, and she's very, very talkative also. So okay, then John said, okay, then he asked me learn how to open a business. Of course, I learned about that in school, but actually doing it, I didn't know anything. So plus with two kids, we're like, yeah, what's happening? But then I started with one. So I called a lawyer, so our notary lawyer, and I asked her, I know we need you to be able to start a business, but can you send us an accountant, or can you give us a name of an accountant who can help us do the business plan? Because I have two kids, I don't have any time to do a business plan and do this tedious things. So give me a name, and then I this person, and I ask, okay, this notary gave me your name, and she told me you would be able to help us to start our business, and this is what we need. And she said, oh yeah, okay, I'll do that for you, of course, with the cost. And we said, okay, we agreed with the cost, and she did everything for us. So the business plan, the financial plan, and everything, she just said, okay, this is the plan, and then you're ready to go. You just need to send that back to the notary and then have it sealed, and you're good to go. So that started in February. So with everything, February 2013. Oh no, 2012. February 2012. And so we did all the projects in February 2012. We already created the name, the VAT number, and everything. So we had to process the credentials, the business permit, and everything. So in July 2nd, we started our business. So we hired John's aunt
Mm-hmm.
as as our secretary.
Mm-hmm.
And her clients, we gave it to someone else. So we hired two people immediately. We gave it to someone else. And that's how it started. Really, we just hired one person and then the other. And then I think around December, we had 20 people already working for us.
Wow.
So yeah, it was really a challenge. But of course, if there's no challenge and no failure, it's not going to be a success story, isn't it? So
Mm-hmm.
we just kept on moving forward. There were a lot of people who were saying, yeah, another Filipino business. Oh, it's not going to last because
Mm-hmm.
Filipino businesses here in Belgium doesn't really last.
Mm-hmm.
So we said, no, we're not. We're going to last. And one thing I remember of telling our aunt, now she's our office manager.
Mm-hmm.
So my husband is the CEO, I'm the CFO, and she's the office manager. And one thing I said, I remember, because since I worked in a five-star hotel, I said we will treat our customers, even our cleaners, the same, like they were in a five-star
Mm-hmm.
hotel. We'll
Mm-hmm.
treat them with respect and we'll treat them the best that we can.
Mm-hmm.
And it's true, when you treat them with respect, with integrity, and if you treat them like you want to be treated, actually it really pays off.
Mm.
And
The bundle, yeah.
the golden rule, if you want to receive respect, they will you treat them with respect first, and then everything will follow.
Right, right, right.
So, and it's in the beginning, it's very, very challenging because there were people who were looking down at me. I was 28 at that time when we started. Like, how a 28-year-old can start, and so many things, and nobody really knows us. But yeah, now 13 years later, we're still here
Right,
with
yeah.
100 people working for us. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What's been your proudest moment as a BFree owner so far?
Well, the proudest moment is actually when the cleaners leave the cleaning business and
Mm-hmm.
become somebody else. Like they start their own companies or they work in different companies and they become manager or assistant manager. We're like, oh, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Because we always say it's a stepping stone.
Mm-hmm.
Cleaning is, well, cleaning business, of course, we don't want them to stay until they're retired to clean houses and to clean toilet bowls and everything, but we want them to see it as a stepping stone to where they want to go. So that's why we always also give them financial coaching, financial literacy coaching, and motivation that if we can do this, if we can be wherever we are now, they can also be wherever they want to be and they can also thrive.
Right. Wow, that's an amazing company culture right there. That's so so
Mhm.
inspiring. And I know you guys you and John don't really want to talk about finances and how much you make, but can you give us just a general, maybe a range of how much BFree has made ever since its inception?
Wow. Well, BFree has made, I don't know the exact numbers, but now we make around 300K a month.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
amazing. That's
Yeah.
right there. I mean, if you guys aren't inspired by just I like for me, what I admire is the company culture that you built.
Yes.
Like it takes a lot, and I think that's part. Like, what are some? To me, I think that's part of why you've lasted so long, and will
Yeah.
continue to last long because of how you treat the people that work with you. Like you value them
Yeah.
outside of just employees. They're not just employees, because you're like, you're encouraging them to grow, to learn more about
Yeah.
finances, to do something else that's not just cleaning. Like, what
Yeah.
other factors do you think have um have allowed you to get to 13, and I'm sure like 30 more years,
Well,
hopefully.
hoping for 30 more years, but well, we treat them as family also because my parents and John's parents came here to Belgium as cleaners as well. So we treat them like our aunts and uncles.
Right,
And it's funny because every now and then someone will bring us lechon or pancit
right,
or
right.
cakes
Hmm.
just because they want to say thank you to us.
Right.
And during the summer break and for the Christmas breaks. So summer is our anniversary outing, so it will be a family day. We invite their families, and
Hmm.
then we will go to a theme park or a picnic.
Right.
So it really depends. Sometime last year we were in a theme park. The last 2 years actually we were in theme parks. Then previously we were in picnics. And and it's so amazing when I hear people looking forward to this family outing now
Hmm.
because it's like they're looking forward to it now.
Hmm.
Before we think, oh, it's just a hassle because it will be instead of working, they would go with us. But then they find it more enjoyable to spend more time with us. And someone told us, oh, I wouldn't be able to go to these places if it had not been because of BFree. And it gives us so much joy when we hear those kind of compliments.
Hmm.
And for Christmas, we go to a restaurant, to an eat all you can restaurant, so where everybody can dress up and be in their best dress, and then we will have games, of course, the Filipino way, and
Right.
karaoke and dances. Yeah.
That sounds like fun. That sounds like fun. What's so let I want to go back a little bit to how you started, for those that are just starting in their journey, whether they're building something like a brick and mortar like yours, or even in coaching, digital, all of that. What's the best advice you give to someone who's just starting out?
Wow. That's a very good question. I would say ask.
Mm,
Ask and you shall receive. Because, like I said earlier, I didn't know. I know the textbook contents, how to start a business, how to create a business plan. But it's so much work and so many steps. But if you know someone already who has gone through it, he will just give you the short the cheat list, the shortcut.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. That's why
and
coaching is so important, right?
it
Because that's
is
that's what they do. They give us their experience and tell us, okay, here is where you can, you know, create,
exactly.
here's how you can go faster, right?
Yes, yes, definitely. That's why it's so important to have mentors.
Mhm.
And before when we were starting, actually, when we were starting, before we started the business, actually, we were attending conferences, and we attended a conference in the Philippines. So Bo Sanchez is one of our mentors. He's a very big name in the Philippines. He started his own community. It's a Catholic charismatic community, but at the same time, he has different businesses and he's teaching financial literacy also in the Philippines. So, in one of his conferences, so Matthew was, I think, 9 months at that time, and I was pregnant with Zoe.
Mhm.
And when John attended, I wasn't able to focus. So, we went down, we were in a conference room or we were somewhere outside the conference anyway. And then Bo came to us and he said, come join me. Let's have a coffee together. And I was with my best friend at that time. And he just invited us for a meal. And I said, "Oh, thank you very much," because it felt like so posh in that conference hall. And I was like, yeah, if I was myself, I wouldn't really attempt to buy a meal at that time, because we were budgeting our money at that time. So a cup of coffee in that restaurant would cost 5 times more than outside. So if I were myself, I would just buy water and then just stay on in the corner. But she said, no, come join me, have a meal with me. So it was a meal with me, my friend, while John was in the conference. And then after, he said, "Oh, okay, I'm sorry, I'm going now, but don't worry, order whatever you want, and it's on me." And then he gestured to the cashier, to the waiter, their tab is on me, put it on my tab. And I was like,
oh, that's so nice.
yeah, oh my gosh, I wish one day we could also do that. So in my mind, I really like, he's so awesome. That's why he's so blessed, because he is like this. But the gesture he made me become who we are today, also, so that we can bless others,
Right.
so we can inspire others, not because we want to brag or we want to show off, but it's so inspiring that you can pay for somebody's meal and not thinking how much it would cost. And we're like, us too, I want to do that too. And I honestly, now I'm so blessed to say that we can do that to anyone. And sometimes and somebody's meal, and it's okay, because we know we are blessing them. It's really, it makes a lot of difference for someone who's starting.
Right. I love that story, and it's true. I think, and I think for us Filipinos, we think in the back of our heads we think, oh, sharing numbers, success stories, all of that sounds like bragging, but the reality is that if someone takes it as bragging, that's on them. But our intent is to inspire, right? Our intent is to say and show that if I can do it, you can do it too, in your own way. It may not be the same way as I did, and also that I am here to help you, right? And I think it ultimately, that's kind of, that's the goal, right? Is that we all lift each other up. That it's not, I'm not bragging that I have this or I have that, but that because I can have it, I bet you can have it too.
Definitely, yes. I was listening to a talk last week, and it was exactly how you can uplift others. Like, there's no competition. There is more competition. You need to know how you can uplift others instead of competing with them, because God has limitless blessings for each and every one of us. And all we need to do is ask, and He shall give us. And why compete? Because so much, there's so much that is for us. So why compete? If I can do this, you can too, or he can too, or she can too.
I agree. What's one thing that you're excited about that's in the future for BFree?
Well, for BFree, we are actually transitioning, because we are opening a different wing in our business of helping others, because, well, there's a lot of people who come to us because we also help them with their paperwork. Most of the Filipinos who work for us do not speak French, so we do everything for them. But now a lot of our workers have retired, so they're now on their pension age, but they still come to us and ask us, can you help me do this and do that? So now we're transitioning. We have we're opening a different branch
Mm-hmm.
where we will be able to still help them with their paperworks. It's called paperworks actually, but so that's a completely new business for us, where
Cool.
we will be able to help them also, but still use our time and wisely, because of course our time means money, but and uh, and it's also essential to be able to monetize that so that we can help others more.
Right. Right.
So yeah,
That's
so
exciting.
that's the new 2025 project. And in
Uh-huh.
the Philippines, we also have different projects coming. Yeah.
So much exciting stuff. Thank you so much for hanging out with me and sharing, your incredible wisdom and your story and insights. It's been such a pleasure learning about BFree. I don't know much about it. I just, when we talk, that's when I kind of, tell me more. And now I know more, and it's what an, I can't wait to visit you, meet all of these wonderful people you're talking about, meet your husband and your kids. That would be amazing.
Yeah.
And yeah, and I would love to, I'm sure that they will rave about how amazing you are as a boss.
Oh,
If your listeners would love to learn more, or would love to learn more about BFree, and maybe they are in your area, where's the best place to connect with you?
okay. So the best way is to connect with me in Facebook. I'm more active in Facebook, or if you are curious about working at BeFree, or you are a client here in Brussels. BeFree is located in Brussels in Rue van der Kinderen. So you can call us at 0234688831 and contact me also through Facebook, Krystle Idago in Facebook.
So I will put Krystle's link in the show notes. And if you feel like you want to get to know Krystle more, I'm sure that she could give more wisdom about her business knowledge. Definitely hit her up on Facebook. I know that she has also something coming up on the coaching end. We are going to interview her to talk about that in the future. So that way, what we want to do is we want to set the stage so that you guys know that she is an actual, business owner that's making money, has actual experience, all of that, so that when you come to her for coaching, you know that these are practical steps. These are not just something that she pulled out of a hat and go, it turns it into magic, right? Like, these are things that she experienced and continue to experience, right, as she grows BFree, as her and her husband grows their businesses, in not just in Belgium, but now in the Philippines. And before we started recording, we were actually talking about growth in Belgium, right? And how that could also grow, right? So she is a wealth of knowledge. So I'm gonna put her contact info in the show notes. Thank you so much, Krystle. We'll see you next time for to talk about your coaching business.
Yes. Thank you very much, Shenz. Have a great
Bye.
day. Bye.